Hey everyone, and welcome to my NMD 305 Final Project screencast. Before I begin, I want to give you a little background information as to what the inspiration for this project was. For those of you who are familiar with video streaming websites, megavideo.com is one I use quite frequently, which is legal, but unfortunately only allows for 72 minutes of viewing a day. This is the message that appears when the user has reached that time limit. You have watched 72 minutes of video today. Please wait 25 minutes or click here to enjoy unlimited use of Mega Video. It's asking you to create an account, which will then in turn make you pay monthly to watch videos. Now that we know where my idea for timing and removing yourself from a website came from, let's take a look at what I have created thus far. You are viewing a sample preference page that allows the user to enter in numerous websites and choose a time limit for each site. You can click the Add Link button, which will continue to add one row at a time of input boxes and radio buttons, giving you the option of entering in more than 4 websites if needed. If the time limit you want to choose is also not available, you have the option to select the Other button, which unfortunately isn't working at this time, but if it were, a side box would then appear allowing the user to enter in their time of choice with a drop-down menu of either hours or minutes. To begin, the user must first figure out which website they spend way too much of their time on each day. For me, it should come as no surprise that Facebook is where I spend most of my time. Now I must choose how much time I want to allow myself on Facebook. I'm going to go with at least 30 minutes. That should give me plenty of time to check Facebook statuses and updates and all kinds of cool things. A little side note about this preference page is that the good thing about it is that once the time limit is reached, you will have to wait at least 1 hour before re-entering the site. But once your hour is up, you can return to this setting and re-enter a new website, change the time limit, and it will take effect as soon as you enter in that site, not when you hit the submit button. If you ever need to reset your settings, you have the option of hitting the reset button, which will bring up an alert box saying, your form will now be reset, and hit OK. This will clear all your input that you have done so far. So let's re-enter in my website, select 30 minutes. So once you have your website entered and your time selected, it's time to submit it. In theory, once the submit button is clicked, an alert box would have appeared that says, your settings have been saved, and we can hit OK, and they will be saved to our database. Due to difficulties with the coding, the alert box is not available at this time. So, we hit submit, our settings will be saved, and we will be able to see what happens now. Alrighty folks, so here I am at my Facebook page. This is going to give you a brief sneak preview of what would happen if my project was a legit setting. Basically, we're going to pretend that I've been on here for the allotted time that I selected, which was 30 minutes, and you're going to actually get to see how this would work. So, let's say I've been on here 30 minutes, and I will be expecting a notification saying that I will be redirected to a new site in 30 seconds, in which time I need to get everything done that I need to do on this website, or I will be kicked off for an entire hour. Oh, look, there it is. There's the alert. Tells you to get off Facebook. You have 30 seconds left before you'll be redirected to a new site. Alright, so I hit OK. Unfortunately, we haven't figured out why the notification feels it needs to appear numerous times, but that's just one of the bugs that I need to work out. So, my alert appeared, tells me I have 30 seconds. I need to figure out what it is I need to do in 30 seconds. You know, update my status, change my picture, whatever. And then I will be redirected automatically to the new site. So this is the web page that I would be redirected to once my time limit has been reached. And basically down here there's just a little brief description explaining why you have been redirected, in that you may re-enter the site in 1 hour. At that time, your preferences may be changed, either adding or taking away websites that you've entered, or simply changing the time in which you are allowing yourself on that website. Either way, this is the website that you would see. And so now, let's take a look at the coding that has made this all possible. Alrighty everybody, welcome back, and here we are back at my Facebook page. I am going to show you what it is that I did to make this all possible. Basically, I had to first start out by downloading a bookmarklet called Grease Monkey. You can find it over here in the top right. As you can see, he's not highlighted at this current point, which means that the code is not working. I wanted to be able to stay onto Facebook without being redirected to a new site. So, I left him unclicked, but you can always change that by clicking on the arrow and clicking enabled, or by just clicking on the monkey himself. That will turn the code on. You will need to refresh the page, however, for it to actually work. So we're going to leave it unclicked for now, and I'm going to show you how I made the alert and the redirection to a new page happen. We're going to come down here to the Manage User Scripts option, which will bring us to the Add-on Manager page. The title I have chosen, as you can see, is Facebook I Hate You, which I haven't changed yet because it really doesn't make a difference what it's titled as. It's more for your personal organization. So by clicking on the Preference button located over here, the Script Preference page appears, showing us what websites Grease Monkey will work on. The more you add, the more that will have an effect on from Grease Monkey. So, we're going to leave it at facebook.com because that's the only website that I needed to work on. So let's see the actual coding behind it all. We come down here to Edit This User Script button, which we click, and it will then bring up a text editor. Mine is Smultron, which shows us the code. Above up here, you just see some basic information regarding the text script, just the title, the description of it, including pages, which is just facebook.com. This isn't really, necessary, but it's nice to have it. Basically down here, we start off with the alert. This is what you see appear that tells you to get off the website and that you have 30 seconds left. You can always change it. You can make it whatever you want. We could always change it to, hey, I like your face. That could pop up. Unfortunately, the user wouldn't know that they would be redirecting and therefore would get really upset when they got redirected to a new site, and so you should always keep your alerts at something that the user can recognize. So, from there, we now have the function. I labeled the function as redirect from Facebook because it seems appropriate. So now what's going to happen is this window.location is given a website, which is the redirected website. So I just basically put that in, give it a name, window.location, and I close the function. Pretty simple. And lastly, I have the timer. This is what actually takes you from the website you're on to the new page. This is what times it. So when I say up here that you have 30 seconds left, down here I want to make sure that 30 seconds is what the time is. You don't want to confuse the user by putting maybe 10 seconds and saying that you give them 30. That's just going to, once again, confuse them, and it's not going to be a suitable setting. So, keep everything the same. So basically I have my timer, I have the set timeout, which then tells me that the redirect from Facebook function, which is to redirect you, and then 30 seconds. So basically that's everything right there. We have a timer that will then redirect you in 30 seconds. You can always change this, like I said, change it to 40 seconds, 50 seconds. We're going to leave it at 30 just to match the alert. So we hit save, and we close out. So that has saved to the Grease Monkey script. This is basically fine as it is, so we hit OK. And here we are back at the add-on managers page. So basically you have everything that you need. You need to create a title, go to preferences, include the pages that you want Grease Monkey to have an effect on, and you can always exclude pages you don't want to have an effect on, but since we are only dealing with one, like I said, just type in Facebook and click this button, and you can enter in the code that will make this all possible. Alright folks, well that's pretty much it, and thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and maybe someday I can get somebody to make this a real working device, and it will hopefully keep people from spending too much time on websites rather than doing things they need to do in the real world, like homework or walking your dog, whatever you need to do. Just to give you a quick overview of what you've seen so far, I'm going to show you that this is the preference page. Like I said, this is where the user enters in the facebook.com or whatever site they need to. They choose the amount of time they wish to spend on that website, and then they would hit the submit button. So we go to facebook.com, and here I have at least 30 minutes before I will be redirected and notified, and I need to make sure I have everything done or I can't enter the site for 1 hour. So try to get everything done once the alert happens. Then you are redirected to the new site. So like I said, I hope that you enjoyed this presentation, and maybe someday somebody could actually get this to be a real working device. So thank you all, and I hope to see hopefully some projects similar to mine in the near future.